Welcome back to another Llama Rider 37 production. Today we're going to be doing the 1000 subscriber Q&A. So I asked my followers on Llama Rider 37 clips on Instagram, and I also asked my followers on Llama Rider 37. We're going to start out with the Llama Rider 37 clips questions because, dude, I'll tell you what, the Llama Rider 37 questions are fucking terrible. I got actual good questions on the clips channel. Some good ones I'm going to throw up on the screen and I'll give like a serious answer, and then shitty ones, you know, I'll just read and give you a real quick answer. I_I'm_music asked me, what 8 your plans for the future of your IG/YouTube? Now I'm assuming he meant what are your plans? And that for Instagram, gonna keep posting clips on the clips page. And then on Llama Rider 37, if that ever gets unshadow banned, I'll continue posting bullshit on there. I don't really enjoy it. It's just more for the views at this point, right? I'm trying to get as much traction to the YouTube. Now, my future plans for YouTube would be a ton of shit, really, right? I want to get rich and then fondle... I want to get rich and then buy an island out in the Caribbean where laws don't really apply. You know what I mean? And then you can have whoever over. It doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't matter who they are. You know what I mean? Anyways... You know, you can forcefully take people there and make them do shit. You know what I mean? I'm an island boy, and I'm trying to sing. I don't even know the fucking song. But anyways, realistically, my future plans for Instagram aren't much. Just to build the YouTube. Unless it gets unshadow banned, then I'll go back to doing bullshit. And then YouTube is a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? I would love to do a cooking show, traveling, and kind of just... If you guys have ever watched Vagrant Holiday, I would love to do something like that, right? Just go travel the world. Not sleep in like abandoned houses and shit. Well, that is cool. I'm not shitting on him for that, but like that's personally not me. You know, just not something I would want to do. But it is cool. I love Vagrant Holidays. I wish he still posted. But yeah, something like that, right? Just an asshole traveler, really. I guess is what you could say. So big plans, as long as everything blows up. All right, now David Eats Sandwich says, "Have you ever been a victim of Fort Lauderdale voodoo?" Can't say that I have. I haven't been to Florida, and I don't see no voodoos, so no. Will you ever do public matches? I guess this is kind of another serious question. See, I feel like trolling is kind of cliche at this point, right? I could do trolling, and I'd be very good at it. I can bait responses out of people, but it's just not something that I want to do. Everybody else is doing it. Theoretically, maybe I would do trolling, but I'm not trying to make... Also, I think you're also asking if I'd make like fit-style videos, which is kind of trolling, kind of not. You just say shit and get people's reactions. No, probably not, right? I think it's corny and overdone. I like to focus more on the solo side of it, and then maybe play with some friends. But, hey, once that money starts rolling in, things could change. What's your McDonald's order? Tater Tot _4 says this. Personally, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I used to work there, so I've had plenty of it. So I do know the best thing you can possibly get, right? The spicy chicken deluxe comes with a spicy sauce on it. Now, you're not going to get that chicken sandwich, but you're going to get a quarter pounder because it is made fresh and it's actually good meat. You're going to get a quarter pounder. You're going to take the mustard and ketchup off, and you're going to put that spicy sauce on instead. And if you're an adult, you'll also put tomato on it. If you're a little fucking baby and you don't like tomato, then you would you wouldn't put tomato on it, I guess. But in that case, you're a little fucking baby retard. I don't understand why you wouldn't like tomato. You like ketchup. I know you big bitches like ketchup, but you don't like tomato. It pisses me off. All right. Would you kill your baby mama for a Popeye's chicken sandwich? No, I don't really like chicken that much. I like sauce that comes on the chicken, right? Because I'm a big fan of barbecue, but I don't really like the chicken itself, so no, would not do that. Plus, I don't have a baby mama yet. Toe length. I don't know. Say about 2 inches, probably. Probably not. Maybe about an inch. Let's see here. About an inch and a half. Freaky back shots or passionate back shots? Personally, I'm, you know, I don't want to get too deep into this, but probably passionate, right? I'm personally more into the passionate side of things. I like taking it slow. Both are fine, but if I'm receiving, probably passionate. Are you gay? 661 Miguel. Miguel. Fuck, Miguel. Whatever. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I haven't said that name in a while. Are you gay? No. No. Alright, let's see. OK Seabass says, what would you do if a woman started crying in front of you? Would you hit her or help her? Now, if you help her, right, she thinks it's okay to cry. And she thinks she can do it in the future. If you hit her, it'll motivate her to quit crying, and she won't think it's okay. And then if she doesn't think it's okay to cry, then whatever made her cry, next time she's going to be like tough about it. She's going to be like, all right, this shouldn't make me cry. You know, it might be because she doesn't want to get hit again, but still, at the end of the day, you're motivating her to stand up to whatever's making her cry. So I think you got to hit that bitch. Who's better, Yes King or Am About to Come? Yes King, by far. By far. Yeah, Yes King is really dogging motherfuckers, right? I'm About to Come is just jonking and shit. Is this still a maybe on zombies? I know a lot of you people, or a lot of my followers have asked me to play games with them. To be honest with you, probably ain't gonna happen. You know, I'm a busy man, and you know, to be honest with you, I do better with solo shit. Now, if I ever do a podcast, I would love to speak to you guys and like debate you guys, or just speak with you, have you guys on. But that's really about it, right? I'm not gonna play games with people, because you got to build a chemistry, and then it's just a whole fucking thing, right? And I'm weird with people I first meet. Some guy, what's your favorite gooning site? Personally, I don't watch it anymore. Not that, you know, morally I disagree with it or anything, but it's just I have a girlfriend now, so I don't personally indulge. But I guess it would be like Fortnite/R34. Is it purple? JMO Art says. I don't know what you mean by that. No, it's not purple. If we're talking about the same thing you want to talk about, it's black actually, because I'm black. I guess that is kind of purple. Yeah, fuck it, it's purple. Okay, Isaac G75 simply says, there is a hydrogen bomb until your place of origin. What does that mean, bro? What the fuck are you saying? That's not a question, that's a statement, and a statement that I don't understand. Isaac G75 once again says, if there was a chance that a homeless man would pick a fight with you, what you doing? I like that you're putting it like, oh, if there was a chance. Like, because, you know, homeless people should know me now, right? They see me and they're like, fuck, that guy doesn't play around. I spoke about this in a video, my last video. It might be my last video by now, I don't know. A zombies video anyways. And I say that if you hit homeless people, it'll motivate them to buy a home because they don't want to continue to be hit. So you know what I'm doing. Asural Quasi Zero says, do you pay taxes? Who the fuck are you, buddy? Are you the IRS? Like, I'm not answering that question. How grapey would you say you are? We know what he said. Not OG says this. How grapey am I? Personally, I've never graped somebody. Not that I'm ruling it out. I mean, I do it potentially. When did you decide to become the first white streamer? I don't know, man. I just wanted it. Girlfriend grabbed my ass. Is she gonna peg me? Yeah, probably. Probably, right? She's probably gonna fuck the shit out of you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And there's nothing you can really do about it because you've allowed it. This is behavior you're allowing, and she's gonna raw dog your little pussy. Taylor says, "Can you suck it?" No, I can't. Connor underscores sent me a picture of Pichu in his bathroom, or Plusle, or whatever the fuck this Manus and Plusle or whatever. I don't know. And he says, I expect an answer. I'll throw that up on screen, but it's like Pokemon Go, bro. You gotta catch them. You must have hopped out your toilet like Mr. Hanky. A Starfall says, do you swing both ways? No. Not a question, but wanted to say, thank you. I don't drink bleach. He says that he likes my YouTube videos. Thank you, bro. Who keeps allowing you to yap? Myself. I'm employed, so I'm able to buy the equipment to yap. Why 37? Why not 38? Sounds cooler, I think. Gabe Kuji has asked 3 questions. You know, so okay, that was the first question. He said, "What the name come from?" Okay, and then he says, "How big is it?" I like your first 2 questions more personally. I don't like that. He asked me 4 questions. Sorry. He also said, "Where do you live?" Well, I live in Ohio. How big is it? I don't know. I don't have one of those. Where did the name come from? I believe I was just kind of at first, or originally the account, and this will answer a question in one of the other questions. The account originally was supposed to be used as like a trolling account, where I pretend to be like an old man trying to lure people to play Fortnite with me, right? And I made weird shit, and I like showed my feet and stuff, and then that was like the whole point of the page at first, and then it blew up. Not blew up, but then it got bigger off of the other shit, so I quit doing that. But yeah, at first, so I was trying to sound like an old, out-of-touch person in what they would name their Fortnite account. That's kind of where the name comes from. Why not 38? I don't know. It was just chance. Also, I like the number 7. It's always been one of my favorite numbers. Let's see. What shows did you watch as a kid? I watched a lot of SpongeBob, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is probably my favorite piece of media ever. And then I watched a lot of like Adult Swim, for example. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You know, all that, what are some of the other ones? I don't know. King of the Hill. What else would come on? It was kind of like, oh man, Home Movies is such a good fucking show. I watched a lot of adult-centered stuff like South Park. That's mainly what I watched as a kid. That's why my humor is so fucked up, right? I'm pretty desensitized to a lot of shit. Just because I've been watching crazy shit since I was young, right? I started watching the bad stuff, at a very young age. So that sounded terrible. I think you can know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I started watching that at a very young age. So I'm very desensitized to a lot of shit. And it kind of helps with the humor. Who influenced you to do what you do now? Now, I don't take inspiration from a lot of people. I would say some of them would be obviously Schlatt, but I'm a bit more extreme than Schlatt. And I don't try to copy everything he does. But I think his comedy, his blunt, like straight in your face shit, I kind of like, and I take inspiration from. Sam Hyde could be another influence. I like the way he moves, right? Kanye, I like the way they move, right? They'll say whatever they want. I mean, regardless of the meaning and message behind it, I believe that saying whatever you think at the current time is the best. Like, I think it's so cool, right? Because I say whatever I want. I think censorship is retarded, and I believe they're pretty good. Ye says the craziest shit of all time. Sam Hyde says crazy shit, but I really like the way they move. And the way they position themselves, right? They don't care that they're blackballed. They're themselves. Yeah, I really respect that. Another person asks, how big is it? It's 2 people. I don't have one of those. How much RAM does it take to run Fortnite while gooning? I don't know, man. Personally, I only have a two. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer this fucking question, man. How long you been like this? That's an interesting question. As a kid, once again, grew up pretty watching stupid shit, so I've always had fucked up humor. My dad didn't really have much of a filter when we were younger, so that didn't help either. At the beginning of my life, I guess I was weird, kind of like this, and then in the middle of my life, I tried to be normal, and I tried to fit in with everybody. And then, towards the end of my teenage years, I kind of reverted back into the guy I am now, but I've always been like a fucking class clown and a loser and all that shit. Always just kind of been like that. Thoughts on turning Gaza into Buc-ee's versus 7-Eleven? Now, this is a great question. Will.ksg asked this. This is a great question, right? Because we're looking at Israel. You guys own a lot of shit, and I don't really like that personally. You guys are all right. But, like, maybe you don't need to have as much influence on world politics as you do, right? Maybe quit buying everything. Yeah, quit buying everything, personally. I would like to afford a house someday, but in Palestine, I don't really care. I don't really care about the Middle East at all, but I care about the people that are there on both sides. The people, not the politicians running the shit, right? I could care less about the prime minister of fucking Israel. If he dies tomorrow, I don't care. Don't fucking care, right? Worthless to me. The leader of Gaza, if he dies tomorrow, good. It's a terrorist organization. So if we were to turn it into a Buc-ee's versus 7-Eleven, first off, Buc-ee's would have to be Israel because Israel has the backing of the fucking world, and Buc-ee's is huge. And 7-Eleven is mostly owned by brown people, which is what the Palestinians would be, I think. Personally, I would probably rather go to a Buc-ee's. So, but I would much rather do this than shit I don't care about, right? I don't care about this war. I think it's retarded that some of my money that I'm giving the government that's supposed to be helping me is going to fucking Israel. I don't care. Quit buying everything. We get it. You got a lot of money. Will you remember me when you become a star llama rider? Pineapple Cup. Well, now you're immortalized in this video, so now I'm going to have to. Who wins in a fight, Batman or Iron Man? Yeah, this question I could care fucking less about. Probably Batman. I don't know. Batman's cooler. You fuck with Halo? If so, which one's your favorite? I like Halo Reach, and I do fuck with Halo. I played Halo Infinite when it came out. It was alright. It was whatever. You know what I mean? I like the Bungie Halos, personally. The shit I grew up with, but I really like Halo Reach. Probably one of my favorite games of all time. Playing Infected, man. Sitting in that playing on I don't even remember the map, but you could sit in the back of that fucking hallway. All of the infected maps, there's camping spots, but yeah, sitting in that hallway where there's no way to get out, and then they would just run in at you, and you're at the bottom of like a fucking tower thing. What? 1v1 me on Roblox. I don't really play Roblox. How many times do you goon in a day? Personally, I don't wank the wiener much anymore. Can I buy your body and do anything to you? To be honest with you, there's a price for just about anything, right? I'm sucking a dick for a large sum of money. I'm getting penetrated for a large amount of money. So probably, right? As long as you're over 18, there's probably a price that I would give you, to be honest with you. Does it jiggle? No, I'm skinny now, so it no longer jiggle. Best length to circumference ratio. I don't know, probably like 7 by like 2, some shit like that. What's the scariest shit you've ever seen in your life? We're gonna have to come back to that. I'm gonna think about that. Skeeter McBeavers asked that. That's a good question. You on the cream team or the squirt team? Probably the cream team. My balls hurt. That's a statement. Average daily inward count. Being honest, recently it's picked up a lot, right? I'm traveling a lot. I'm going down to the big city a lot more. So, you know, and at least 20. Let's be honest here. Show ho. I'm just gonna ignore that. It's a retarded ass question. What's the scariest shit you've ever seen in your life? You know, not to be corny or anything, but I guess turning around or just seeing police in places you're not supposed to see, right? As a kid, I stole a lot, and I got caught shoplifting once. And that was some scary shit when the cops were just sitting out there. That scared me. We would stay out past curfew a lot. In my area, it's a big deal for some reason. So if you were out past a certain time, the cops could like arrest you for being out if you were a minor. So that shit was pretty scary when you would turn around and they'd have their fucking lights on, but they wouldn't turn the sirens on, and they were coming after you, but you didn't. Well, you pretty much knew, but like whatever. That was pretty scary. I've never seen something like traumatic, right? Nothing too crazy, right? I've never walked in and seen like a cartel beheading. All right, that was everything. Now we're gonna switch over to Llama Rider 37. I'm not too excited for these questions, to be honest with you. They kind of suck ass. Actually, there's a couple that are alright. Alright, let's see here. Does it squirt? No, my boy. If you woke up without... Never mind, I read this and I was like, oh, this is long. This might be a good question. If you woke up without an arm and a testicle, what would you be more mad about losing? Actually, this is an okay answer. Or okay question. Probably my arm, right? I don't really care too much about my testicles. I would like to have a baby. But I think you can have one testicle and still have a baby, right? It still makes semen. So definitely my arm. It's a retarded question, actually. Why don't you ever do a video with like a cross of your really silly voice and the deep? That's fucked up, bro. This is just my voice. But anyways, the deep voice, I don't like it all, right? It's a gimmick. I don't really enjoy making Llama Rider 37 shit anymore. It'll still make me laugh, right? I still get a slight amount of enjoyment out of it, but I much prefer doing this. The deep voice is a gimmick, right? The videos on Llama Rider 37 do well because of the voice, and I don't like that. I want them to do well because of the comedy that's behind it. And I just don't like the voice. It's too much of a gimmick. Would never want to be known for it, at least on YouTube. Does it grip like a dead raccoon on the side of the road with its intestines partially sticking out? You're gonna have to ask your mom that. Hey! Unironically, next question. Do it grip the meat? You're gonna have to ask your mom that. Jeremy Coomer says, do it squirt. You're gonna have to ask your mom that. What's wrong with your voice and why does it make my willy cry? I don't know, man. I use a voice changer. Thoughts on Corvus? I don't like Marvel at all. I think this is the Iron Man guy or some shit. I don't like Marvel. I like Deadpool, but really other than that, I don't really care for Marvel. So probably I don't like Corvus. Do you like anime feet? No, I used to watch that shit though. Not feet related, but anime naughty stuff, you know what I mean? Will you marry me? No. What do you think about bombing the Middle East? I agree with it, and I don't really care, right? Just don't give a fuck, right? I want cheap oil. So, as long as I get cheap oil. How many words do you know that begin with the letter N? Quite a few. Which Fortnite skin is lined up for that D next? I don't know. Do you beat it to little autistic Fortnite Renegade Raider ninja emoji ERS? Yeah, I do. What's your go-to position with llamas? Doggy. Would you rather be a fish for a day and only permitted to swim and cum, or only be able to goon to fish for 1 year? Okay. Would you rather be a fish for a day and I gotta reread this. This is so off the walls here. Probably just jerk off the fish for a year, right? I just wouldn't jerk off for a year. That's the obvious answer here. This is assuming that I'm like a goon addict, right? That I just goon all the time. Yeah, I probably don't want to swim and cum, right? That's probably not a good choice for your health. What's the worst thing you've ever done that you never want to talk about? I used to break into houses. May 12th, 2025, 12:34 p.m. That's all Matt Lombardo 9 said. All right, man. All right, I'll be waiting. When do you start the feet finder? I don't know. You guys give me enough money, I'll do it. The group chat loves you, Mr. Ryder. That wasn't a question, but thank you, bro. I appreciate it. What originated Llama Rider 37? I think you're supposed to say what is the origin of Llama Rider 37, or you could be right. I don't know. I've been in school in years. I already answered that, but good question. Thank you. Have you become the racist uncle? I'm not really racist, personally. So nah, I guess. Are you wet right now? You're born in 2006 asking me that crazy ass question. You just turned 18, bro. Do not ask me shit like that. Did you and the homies this is a good question. Did you and the homies used to mess around in creative back in the day? Because I missed that. I guess the only thing I would really miss is being real young and playing like Call of Duty Zombies with my buddies. But yeah, I would say I missed that, I guess. Not that I want to be friends with the people again, but I guess that were pretty good moments. Or Fortnite back in the day, I guess. But yeah, I would say so. What is your jerk mate rank, and can you give a tip for ranking up? I don't know, man. Matthew says, yeah, I don't know. Opinions on furries. Now, this is a complex issue, right? I believe everybody, hates furries and shit, but at the end of the day, right, I like gay and I like transgender people. What is the difference between a transgender person and a furry in terms of, like, mental space, right? They're both fucked up, right? If you're furry, you had some sort of trauma or something as a kid. If you're transgender, you probably had some trauma as a kid or some shit. You're probably fucked up mentally. So where am I to even judge at the end of the day, right? I mean, you are kind of weird, right, if you're a furry, but I don't have a problem with you. A slight judgment, if I see you in public, I'm not going to go up and shake your fucking hand. But I'm not going to completely ignore the fact that you exist or whatever. I'm not going to act like I get personally offended. So no, I don't really have a problem with furries. I think it's kind of weird, and I personally wouldn't do it, but you're free to do whatever you want, man. What made you want to do the content that you do? So initially, once again, this was supposed to be a troll account, something just for fun. I didn't intend for it to turn into where I'm making YouTube videos and shit. But realistically, when I was younger, obviously it's a dream for everybody to do YouTube. Everybody nowadays has this dream, and I'm no exception. It's just really something that I enjoy doing. I believe comedically, I'm at another level than a lot of people. So it's really just something I want to do. And I want to be rich one day. You know what I mean? I want to do terrible shit with a lot of money. Probably run for president at some point. For real. Will you fart? No. Nope, I don't fart. Personally, I draw the line with that. Where do you draw the line with a crippled person or someone with cancer? What do you mean draw the line? Right? Like, if a homeless person gets close to me, or no, wait. A crippled person gets homeless to me, I'd like draw no more pushy. Don't push the retard at me. I'm going to answer the question in two ways, right? So if a crippled person was approaching me, I'd probably want about 3 feet from them, just in case they start rolling, right? I don't want that shit to hit me. A cancer patient, it's not contagious, so probably not much, but I also don't want them to like cough on me and shit. Not because I'll get cancer, just because that's disgusting. So probably about 5 feet, right? I'd rather be closer to a crippled person than someone with cancer. Personally, I'd rather want them closer to me than a cancer patient. I'm going to answer it in the other way. Where do you draw the line? Like, when do I give up? Crippled person, I don't know. You probably start giving up once they don't have any arms, right? I mean, because you can do without legs. But once you don't have arms, right? What are they fucking here for? And then someone with cancer, I don't know. If they get cancer, you just got to give up. That's the way that is. What type of ramen do you like? I don't like ramen. I've been trying to stay away from salt in general. Now I need to beat sugar, but yeah, I don't really like too much salt. What plans do you have for the future, my glorious goat? I appreciate the compliment. I'm not LeBron, though. That is the glorious goat. And kind of described that earlier. You know, I'd love to do a cook. I'd love to do a ton of shit, right? I'm trying not to be a one-trick pony, right? I believe I have a lot to offer in the way or in terms of content, and I believe I could do a lot with it, right? I think I could do the travel shit, the cooking shit, the gaming shit. I'd be great at interviews, I believe. A podcast would be great. Stand-up comedy potentially at one point, but it's just a ton of shit, right? And I'm very small at this point, so it's a lofty goal, but I would love to do just about anything, to be honest. Baddest Fortnite skin. Renegade Wada. What do your boxers smell like? Not great, man. I work 12-hour shifts, so you can imagine. How old were you when you got I can't even say the word. When you got Molly Ested, and he put his name in the thing. He said that this is from Jungle Balls 28. I don't know. I used to, this is a story for another time, but I'll make it really quick. Used to, when I was younger, I told people at our lunch table that an old man ushered me into a mall bathroom and licked my candy. I don't know why I told people that. It's quite a strange thing for me to do. That didn't happen, but apparently that happened when I was like 8. So you can say 8. What's your IP address? I don't know. Favorite AIC song? Alice in Chains is probably what you're asking. Let's see here. I have Brush Away. Sorry, I didn't even have to look it up. Brush Away or Sludge Factory. I quite like that album. What is it called? Is that Alice in Chains self-titled? Yeah, self-titled. I really like that album. I also really like Dirt. Or is it called Dirt? Sorry, it's been a while. Sorry. Oh shit! I gotta turn this off. Yeah, I think it's called Dirt. Whatever. Yeah, we're just gonna assume it's called Dirt. But yeah, I really like Alice in Chains. I like grunge. So yeah, I would say Brush Away or Sludge Factory. How big is that schlong? I'm a girl. What gets you off the most, my girlfriend? Big white cock or big black cock? Yeah, it's a tough question. I'll answer it in about 1 to 2 years. Well, see, now I'll answer this like I'm Sketch, right? I'm brother! It's even funny. I don't like Sketch at all. I think Sketch is a fucking cornball. Let me get that out of the way. I'm brother! Was taking that big black cock like no other brother. Let me act retarded. And then only be popular for like 3 months and then get mad because I got exposed for taking big black dick. I'm brother! Big black dick, man. Give me that shit. Now, dude, okay, Jacob Lane 22. I appreciate the support, but bro, you guys have got to stop asking me to ever follow you back. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Right? Like, I only follow people that I'm friends with or that whatever. I'm obviously not gonna follow random people back. So you guys gotta quit asking that shit. I don't know why it gets asked. No, I can't do it. But thank you. You said that you've shown me to many friends. Thank you. That's your way of paying me back, right? I'm entertaining you, and you're doing that, so thank you. But no, I can't follow anybody back. Which is your favorite Asian? That's a tough question, right? There's a lot of Asian people. More Asian people than anybody, ever. There's been so many Asian people. Think about all them wars. Oh, my favorite Asian person. Now, this is a tough question. I would have to say the average Japanese working man. That's my favorite Asian person, right? I really like their culture over there. Sounds such a weeaboo. I don't even know. My favorite Asian person. I don't know. Chun-Li from Fortnite. What color is your poop? And can I get a whiff? Maybe a taste too. Yeah, to be honest, most of the time it's brown, right? I've been eating a lot of probiotics recently, and so that's been helping. But weirdly, like year to a year and a half ago, I just had like green poop one day. It scared the shit out of me. I thought I was dying. How much dedicated RAM do you use to run Fortnite? Why are we asking this shit? I don't know. I don't run it on my computer, so you'd have to ask my Xbox. Lore on the bird. Someone gifted it to me, and I kind of ran with it. And it is my skin now. Not that I even enjoy playing Fortnite. That'll answer another question. Where were you on August 16th, 2019? I don't feel like getting my iPhone that has all like my Snapchat memories and shit. I probably could give you an exact... I can tell you exactly what I was doing. Most likely, I was stealing from Walmart. Be honest with you, that's probably what I was doing. Actually, that's pretty close to my old buddy's birthday. So maybe it was his birthday. I can't remember exactly what day. Fuck you, by the way. But yeah, it may have been hanging out with him and stealing from Walmart. How big is it? Ask your mom. What got you into making videos? Once again, I started out as a troll. Actually, 1 to 2 years ago, I can't remember exactly. Probably about 2 years ago, I made a Dragon Ball Z good guys tier list, like Goku and shit. And it won't see the light of day, at least for the meantime. That's privated on another channel, so I've made that video, and that's kind of what taught me how to edit. At least, I'm not an edit god or anything, but it's what taught me how to use editing software and how to upload and shit like that. So, but that's what taught me how to do what I do now. And then when I was a kid, I wanted to make YouTube videos. There's another YouTube channel out there. They're all deleted, so the videos I can't even obtain. I wish I could. But yeah, so yeah, I've always wanted to make YouTube videos. Made them when I was like 12, and I've made them as recent as when I was younger, like 2 years ago, and then now I'm making them. How many average size feral cats could you fight off at once, armed and unarmed? Armed, unlimited. You get a shotgun, you can kill as many cats as you want. And unarmed, probably a good amount, right? I'm pretty familiar with cats, so a good amount. I'd say 10 to 15. Do you genuinely enjoy Fortnite? No, I don't like Fortnite at all anymore. I never really did, right? It's just an easy way to make content. That's why I don't post Fortnite. That's why I don't ever use Fortnite gameplay on here. I just don't believe that. I don't know. I don't want to be known for Fortnite because I don't like Fortnite, right? And it's so easy to get sucked into the like Fortnite world, and I don't want to be a part of it because I don't really like Fortnite. Llama Rider, have you always had the special personality you have in your videos, or no? It's something that's been developed, right? I've become more and more deranged. I'm with the girl that I've been with forever now at this point. And after that, I pretty much stopped talking to people. You know how that works, right? You get a girlfriend, you cut everybody off. And since then, I've been very, very alone, I guess. And that's helped me kind of distance myself from like normal shit, right? Like I don't even know normal shit, right? I go into public and my girlfriend gets all pissed all the time because I don't know how to interact with people like correctly, right? Someone will be like like I'll be at a drive-thru or something and I'll be like, I'm just a dickhead because I don't understand how normal people interact with each other because it's just so I would say really isolation has kind of fast tracked this kind of personality, I guess. Because I'm so off the walls and I'll say whatever because I'm not used to social norms. I've kind of created my own, which are fucking ridiculous. Can I see your feet? No. Feet Lover 69 asked that. Be honest, how much does it stink? Raccoon emoji. I don't know what the... Once again, I work long ass shifts, so yeah. How many V-Bucks so I can slather crunchy peanut butter in your feet and lick it up? Someone said show hole. That's the second person. These are different people that have said show hole. And then toe length again. That was the same person that asked it before. I don't know, 1.5 inches. Hey, those are the questions, man. You guys really let me down on Llama Rider 37. Those are some retarded ass questions. There were like 2 or 3 good ones. And then yeah, but overall these were okay questions. And you know, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. It's a goal that I've wanted to hit. I think it's pretty cool, right? As a kid, I would have killed for 1,000 subscribers. So to hit it in a relatively short time, I've only really been taking this serious for about 3-4 months now. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Maybe lock the doors and turn the lights down low.